Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Forge Podcast. This is episode 5. It is January 13th, about 9 p.m. I'm joined by your host, the Wild Man.
Hey!
Co-host DJ Tiano.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Episode 5, labeled Taking the Leap. But before we get into that, we're going to do our segment with we're going to do the quote. We're going to revisit the quote from last week. We're going to ask the Wild Man what he thinks about it. It's a wild one for the Wild Man. I think I got him a little bit on this one.
Yeah, Listen, I just got done watching Enter the Dragon for whatever whatever 100th time I've seen it. And Ray read read the quote, and all I hear is Bruce's voice. When you're saying it, Ray's saying it to me, and I hear Bruce, and I'm thinking, what the hell is he talking?
Was it his voice or his voiceover voice?
No, I heard you saying it, but all I heard was, it was Bruce was talking to me. And the first part about there is no...
Well, all right, let's just touch down on it.
Yeah, what was the quote, Ray?
There's a lot of layers to this, so
yes.
we're going to peel back all the layers, all right?
It's like an onion.
All right. Bruce Lee's quote said, "Use no way as way. When there is way, therein lies the limitation. And when there is circumference, it traps. If it traps, it rots. If it rots, it's lifeless."
Yes.
All right, so let's pull back the first layer.
So, the first layer, there's no set way to get to one destination. There's multiple paths that you can take. That's
Okay.
what I got from it.
Use no way as way. When there is way, therein lies limitation.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying there's limitation when you set, hey, this is the only way to do things. There's a limitation, all right? Mm-hmm. And when there is circumference, which basically he means there's circumference, you're locked in the circumference. It traps you, right? It traps you, correct?
Yes.
And if it traps you, it rots. And if it rots, it's lifeless.
Yeah, because if you can't get out of that circle, you're stuck.
It's like,
and then you die.
It's like water turning stagnant, still water. If it turns stagnant, it stinks, it rots, it goes nowhere. It's deathly
It stinks and it poisons and
so
it dies.
I mean, basically what he's saying is, when other people say, hey, this is the only way you can do something, be like, no, man, that's not the way I was taught or the way I learned things or experienced things. The minute you put a limitation on something, it pretty much dampers your motivation, and it dampers,
it just stunts growth, period. Yeah, when you start putting limitations on it.
And stunning growth is not what we're about. We're about growing.
Yep.
This podcast, you already know what it's for.
Mm-hmm.
We're all trying to grow. We're all trying to be better than we were yesterday.
That's
right. You know what I mean? And the only way to do that is through experience. And guess what? Taking the leap. Because if you don't, if it's rots and it's lifeless, we can turn that over into translation in one's life. When they sit there and they moan, oh, this is how life is. Why do I gotta live this depressing life? And the attitude changes everything. Mm-hmm. The attitude changes everything. So if you start off with a poor attitude, chances are you're never gonna take that leap. You're never gonna take that. That chance to do something out of the ordinary.
And it can affect others. It can spread. It doesn't just sit with you. Enough people here, and
Absolutely.
they can, if they don't get rid of you and turn you into fertilizer to help out,
Absolutely.
It's going to infect.
So, what do we mean by choose your destiny, taking that leap? We'll define that for the listeners.
As DJ knows, this has been a main pusher for me for a great many years. I've been talking about this, but didn't exactly know what to do with it. And for me, it means that I'm in control of my life. I'm the one who ultimately sets, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. I'm not content with 9 to 5, working 40, 50 hours a week, making somebody else rich.
Yeah.
And I can just pay my bills and not do anything. Yeah. That's not living.
You're fulfilling that other person's destiny.
Exactly. I'm making them rich.
Hard work, the grind, as he hates it. It's his pet peeve. Yeah. So basically, taking the leap for me was DJing. Mm-hmm. Painting is my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. It's not like I hate it. It's not like I, hate it. But the day that I decided to take the leap to do something that I loved, and I prospered off of it, I made money off of it. It really shined light on you can be happy and make money. You can be happy and make a living.
You took a chance on yourself.
I took a chance on myself.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going to happen. Of course, I was scared. I didn't know how I was going to be accepted.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if my skill set I could obtain the skill set
Mm-hmm.
to do something like that. All I knew is that I love music. I was very knowledgeable about music. I grew up around all types of music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My mother loved Motown. My dad was classic rock, Moody Blues, stuff like that. I grew up. My brother's a little older than me. They did the alternative rock and roll, the '90s grunge, grunge, and I grew up myself with '90s hip hop and even earlier hip hop because that's where
You mean good hip?
good hip hop. Yeah, none of the mumble jumble today. But so I decided to take the leap, and it was very beneficial for me. I was able to finally pinpoint something that made me happy.
That's
I went
awesome.
out. I went to work. There's still labor involved in it.
Yeah. Well, you got to put work in anything that you want to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Basically, taking the leap is kind of you're taking a leap to succeed at something, correct?
Yes.
I mean, you're not taking a leap to fail at
you're-
something.
You're realizing, yes, you're afraid. Your dream scares you, and I've heard people say if your dream doesn't scare you, then you're dreaming too small. You're not setting a big enough goal for you that you will be just happy with your life.
Absolutely.
And you're taking that leap means, okay, I'm afraid. This scares the hell out of me.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm going to grab that fear. I'm going to use it as fuel. I want you, all right? I'm going to be a DJ. I'm going to get out there, and I'm going to be the best DJ that he can be. Not like you said last week, not trying to succeed, go above somebody else, but DJ's going to be the best one he can be.
Yep.
That was his thing.
So, coming from experience, I took the leap, correct? You'd say I took the leap.
Oh, yeah.
I took the leap.
Definitely.
I invested
definitely.
money into equipment. That was the first step.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first step to gaining knowledge in DJing and stuff like that, and buying the equipment. But my first step was finding my destiny. What is your destiny? That is probably the hardest thing that everybody has to accomplish.
What they're really good at that makes them happy.
What do you want your destiny to be? What is your destiny? What is your purpose? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And the only person that can answer that is yourself. You know what makes you happy. You know what makes you push to the next level.
Yeah.
You know your tendencies. You know everything about yourself. Nobody can tell you what your destiny is but you. Your purpose is what you say it is.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, unless you allow them, but you don't want to do that. If that kind of, that pushes in where you're so afraid of what you could be doing that you remain complacent. You remain to that just blah, 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 blah. And that turns to that bitterness, and then it
a lot of finding yourself and finding your destiny is clouded by others around you because you're hanging out with this group of people and you're told what's cool and what's not, and hey, if I took this leap, are these people going to think I'm weird?
Will I be weird?
Or
will
is
I
it going to be
still
well
be
accepted?
cool?
Yeah. Or am I going to fit in with these people anymore? You got to stop worrying about what other people think about you. You know yourself, and the only way to be successful is to find your destiny and be happy. I mean, success is defined as happiness, quality of life. Would you say that's success?
Yeah, your success depends on what makes you happy.
Which is your
that's
destiny.
Your destiny is not to just line somebody else's pockets. You were set. All right, here's your destiny. What am I to do? You have to. It takes people. Hell, I know people that are in their 50s that were just figuring out 50s in their 60s.
Well, it takes.
I've talked to people. Some people you don't figure that out.
Let's see. I've been DJing for about roughly 7 to 8 years, It took
Has it
me.
been that long already?
It took me almost 30 years of my life
Jesus.
to
Oh,
figure
yeah, that's
out.
right, because you're still in your 30s. You're not even in your 40s
Almost. Don't rush my life, though.
Hey, take as long. I mean, I'll be 45 this year, and I still feel in my mid-20s.
Yeah, I get. Sometimes people tell me I look like I'm 18, and
That's
I'll
why I
take
got to
that.
keep the hair, because I
You
shave
know
this
what
down. They
it
say,
is?
you look like you're 22.
I always
Well,
kept my
thanks.
stress level here.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
my kids
a
have
big-
changed that stress level, and I'm starting to get the crow's feet and the gray hairs and everything come along with aging.
Yeah.
But hey, you're only as young as you feel, you know.
That's true.
So setting up your destiny, zoning in on what is your destiny, what is your calling, what are you gonna paint on that blank canvas?
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I heard a saying one time: a blank canvas is an invitation; it's a calling.
Okay.
Break that down. Can you?
Yeah, I can rip the canvas apart. No, yeah, it's
You can rip the canvas apart and
yeah.
remain stagnant and
Yeah,
depressed.
yeah. No, it means that your possibilities to me are endless.
Exactly. Going back to
So-
don't set limitations. Do not set limitations. It takes courage to take that step. And guess what? Everybody wants to take that step, who is willing to take that step, is doing this because they want to leave their mark. They want to leave their legacy. They want to leave, hey, you remember, Grandpa Ray? You know what I mean? His dude was a DJ, man. He catered to all crowds. Like, listen to some of his mixes.
He could bring people together and lighten up any dreary day.
And to be honest with you, a lot of my, part of my destiny is to lift people up who's around me.
Okay.
I want to see people enjoying themselves. I want to see people set a standard for their life and succeed at that. And that's a lot of the reason why I got going with the podcast with you, because it's what I want to do, man.
Okay.
Like I'm that guy that holds the door open for the old ladies and I want to make someone's day better. You know what I mean? All it takes is a couple
slap
minutes.
them in the ass when they walk by.
No,
That'll make their day.
no. That's not me.
That'd be woohoo! All right, young man.
So when people set that limit, the limitations, what do you think is the key factor to why they can't reach their destiny? Why they can't even pinpoint their destiny?
I honestly think it comes down to they see their circle of people around them they're bitter. You've got to be like this. They put too much stock into what's around, what they say, and they're afraid.
Yeah.
Because you got into some, I don't know, Fortune 500 company where you just do this. You're told what to do. You don't have to make any decisions by yourself. Nope. This is what they said. Boom, boom, boom.
You're just
you follow
a body
this.
in place.
You're a sheep.
Yeah, you're just a body in place to go through the motions for somebody else to make that. To make that person the riches that they always wanted, their destiny. So I believe it's fear, because people are scared to make that jump because they just don't know how things are going to turn out.
Yeah, they're afraid they're going to fail.
But see, that's the magic of taking a leap to me. It's like an adrenaline rush. Like, people do things for adrenaline rushes. They jump out of planes. They scale sides of mountains. They scuba dive to the depths that, humans aren't even supposed to do. They do this because it's an adrenaline rush. They feel alive. It makes me feel alive to DJ.
To do that instead of choosing. See, now if we could equate with what you're saying, okay, so you jumped, and I hate to bring him in here. I know I did last few episodes ago. Will said that. It was a big thing with Will.
Will Smith.
Will Smith, sorry. He said that he had a lot of fear in his life until he jumped out of this airplane, and then it changed everything.
Well, it goes back to that story I was talking about Kevin Hart last week. It took for him to see the light to jump and enjoy his family's, being around his family,
realizing what was the most important. Yes.
Yeah. So it takes that adrenaline rush to finally just give you that surge of energy. You know what I mean? Once I got that surge of energy, I totally immersed myself. I totally surrounded myself with things that were teaching me the ins and outs of DJing and things like that. And the more and more I was touching down on these things, the more and more I wanted to do.
Okay.
I did an event and the crowd was going nuts. You know what I mean? That made me want to do more. That made me want to do more. And I got better and I got better because I noticed that these people were enjoying what I was doing. So, it got me all the way to doing our city's summer jam, and I opened up for a Grammy Award winner.
Nice.
And that was 5 years into teaching myself how to do what I thought was my destiny, what I, was my purpose. So, taking that jump, I feel like it exposes the real you. It's very exciting. It ignites flames that you never knew were there. You know what I mean? It's definitely frightening. No matter what you have to do, you got to keep fighting for yourself, though. Break that silence. Break the mold.
Yes. Yes.
Create new habits.
And it starts off as something as small as writing a list. What is success to you? What would make you happy? Because nowadays, and I'm still wrapping my head around this, the things that we can make money on. Before it was, you go to school, you go to college, you pick your job, what you want to do for the rest of your life, you go to college for that, and then you get out and that's your job.
Yeah.
Now there's just, as to coin a phrase from one of my favorite movies, a plethora, a plethora of options out there. You can almost turn anything into a job.
Yeah, it's
and get paid for it. We're talking to people.
Sky's the limit. Yeah. Sky's the limit. You just got to find the right place, the right time, the right people. I find it very important that you need to use the resources that are given to us. We live in a day and age that there are unlimited resources, okay? And this is a very shortcoming, and there's a lot more to come with these resources. The number one resource being the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people did home improvements to their house by simply going on YouTube? I've done it. I think we've all done it.
Pinterest.
I've never touched on Pinterest.
Oh, no, dude.
But, just looking, maybe helping your son or something with homework, or because of the Common Core, we're not accustomed to it. You learn these things because you have that source right in your pocket now. Anything.
That blows me away.
We have basically the Midas touch in our pocket. Like,
you have all the information in the world in the palm of your hand.
Right here.
Yeah. Blows my mind. We used to have to go to the library and look up 9 different books.
And that was even if you knew how to work the Dewey Decimal System. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I used to just go, Miss Librarian, I need this book, and this book.
Yeah, so going back, you got to take that creative leap because destiny is a choice. And if you don't choose that you want to live out your destiny, or you even don't even want to try and pinpoint your passion, then you already lost.
Yep.
You can just chalk it up, you lost.
You suck at life.
No, we're not going to say that because we're here to lift people up.
We are. But if you're choosing to remain complacent and you're too afraid.
That goes with the saying, how are you supposed to help somebody who doesn't want to help themselves? I come across that daily. I'm a helpful person.
But see, the thing is now also too, do you help them? Because you can get in trouble for helping a person that doesn't want to help.
Yeah.
So that's a fine line.
Yeah.
In my experience, in my opinion, that is a fine line. You try to help somebody and they get mad, they can sue you.
Yeah.
We've become these, just the offshoot. We're becoming petty about certain things.
We've become petty and coddled. Something hurts your feelings. I think everybody knows these days you can't say certain things, and it just offsets a whole category of people. There's no more. You can't joke around about certain things, and you know what? We're all starting to learn this and cater ourselves to this, and it's unfortunate because you're cutting yourself short. You can't be the person you want to be because you can't. I'm not talking about derogatory remarks about people. Just simple simple jokes, are being turned around and flipped on people, and people are actually out there trying to ruin people's careers and lives because of something they said on maybe a podcast.
They took
or
some offense to it.
Yeah, like he
Sticks
just
and
said,
stones.
you suck at life.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna turn around and say, hey, can you believe this wild man guy? But the funny thing is, you're probably gonna attract more followers because the negatives, for some reason, always stand out more than the positives. I don't know why that is.
Blows my mind.
You can have one troll on a thread, talking about, hey, this guy, he did this for so-and-so, and he made this person achieve, which was a domino effect of this business opening. But you get caught saying one thing, there's going to be a whole lynch mob after you.
Yeah.
There's going to be a whole lynch mob after you.
Yeah,
So, just stay true to yourself. Keep on pushing, man, and just stay creative. Attract your dream into reality, It all starts with finding that purpose, though.
Yeah.
What is your destiny?
What do you enjoy that you can make money at? And that's why that was a big, like you said with the DJ, after seeing this, that realizing that I can make money doing this, because I used to thought, my thing was kind of veered towards like psychology. But that's a lot of school because I
always had that in the back of my head too. I thought I could do that too.
Because of the way I see things, like I told you, people try to hit me with negative and try to cut me down, and I just laugh at them because I don't care. There's that switch. I found it. It's in the back of your head. It's on the left side. I turned it off and I broke it.
Well, you know what it is? It's discipline, self-discipline. And self-discipline plays a huge role in choosing your destiny. Because once you have found that one thing that you want to do, that one thing that you are, you're ecstatic to wake up and go do every day, or even just practice doing.
That you don't consider as work. It's not even considered work.
No.
When you're having fun at it, like DJ's saying, you wake up and you're like, all right, what can I do? What are we doing today?
Yes. I would say after choosing your destiny, the next thing is to set your core, to establish your discipline. And I think we all have a problem doing this. In the past podcast, I told you guys, I want to wake up and take a run around the block, or I want to meditate and things like that. It's taken me a few days. I've been kicking that idea into my head. Okay, today's the day. I'm going to wake up, get out and take that run. I was this close from doing it today. This close. I kid you not.
Okay.
I was this close.
All right.
And I don't know what stopped me. It was the, wake up, get ready for work, have my coffee, sit down, enjoy a little conversation or whatever I was watching this morning, and it just halted me that much. Sports Center update.
Yeah, ESPN.
It came this close though, and I think tomorrow with enough push, I think I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna take that run. Whether I do it the next day or the next day, I can't tell you the future.
Yeah.
But it has to begin with that first day.
Yeah.
Maybe the second day will be easier for me. Maybe the third day. I know it's cold out there. I mean, that was kind of playing in my mind.
Well, see, but you get out there, that might be a good push for you. It's cold, woo,
yeah,
and you go
absolutely.
do a little jog around the neighborhood.
But I guarantee you guys, next week, I'm gonna get out there at least once, and I'm gonna run around the block, and that's gonna help me for the next time, and the next time, and the next time, and the next time. And it's just I want to basically, I'm 39 going on 40 in fall, and I don't want to be that old guy that can't get off the couch because I sat around and I did nothing. I know my job is physical, but I want more self-discipline, and I've seen guys 67 years old going to the gym. It's like they're there every time I go. They're there longer than I am. You know what I mean? So, again, that goes back to state of mind. And self-discipline, I think, plays a very big role in getting you to that next step.
Definitely. Most definitely.
Affirmations.
Oh, we're jumping right to the affirmations.
Affirmations. So, definition of affirmation, the action or process of affirming something or being affirmed. A synonym would be assertion, declaration, statement, proclamation. So basically, you're making that. I'm waking up in the morning. Yep. I'm gonna make that proclamation that I'm gonna start declaring that I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna run around the block before I have any responsibility.
Yeah.
even if it takes me going to bed at night a little earlier,
Mm-hmm.
because I think that's the issue, because I'm a night owl, and, I want to lay there until, I have to get up and face today's responsibilities. But I'm willing to change that.
Okay, that's
'Cause
good.
If
That's
you don't
good.
change, then there's no growth.
Yeah,
If
no.
there's no growth, you're
Change is
stagnant.
inevitable, yeah.
It goes
No,
back
it's-
to that Bruce Lee quote in the beginning of the episode. Right?
Way of the way, choose the way, watch the
So let me
way.
find my affirmation notes here.
Yeah.
But do you want to add anything on
I do.
self-discipline?
With what with the discipline and the being afraid, and with your limits, and by being afraid and not taking that jump, that leap, you're putting those limits right there. I can't do any better. I'm gonna fail, and that if you keep doing that, when you want to work out, you want to change your diet, get a better job, be happy. Those limits and that negativity, it'll start to spread, and it'll spread into your work, that you do now. It'll spread into your family life or your regular life, and it'll just turn you. And before you know it, 5-10 years have gone by, and you've got nothing to show. You've done nothing with your life, and you're just, I just hate everything.
Yeah.
And you just
can't wait till the weekend so I can lay around and do nothing because I don't want to face reality.
Yeah.
It comes down to attitude. If you can change that attitude, you can embrace change and kick old habits.
Most definitely.
The attitude that you give towards life usually is the attitude that you get in return.
There you go again with them Easter eggs for a future episode. You know what episode I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
It's in the future. He's giving Easter eggs.
Well, they're not just...
It's January.
Everything's a roundabout, man. Everything comes full circle.
No, good. I just like throwing an Easter egg.
You're going to hear us repeat a lot of this stuff because these are, like... We look up to the greats of all sports. We look up to the greats of all... Anything, any avenue you want to look at.
Yeah.
These are the things that they're saying. So there's... This formula is,
and they've made it, so it's what they got to be doing is right. Yeah,
and they say it's hard to make it, but it's even harder to stay on top. You ever hear that before?
Not exactly that. That's one thing I kind of preach to the youngins. It was bad when you and I were growing up. Whatever we wanted, we had to fight for, and once you get there, you had to fight to keep it. Now, so it's even worse. Because people. We had some backhanded, some backstabbing in the days, but now I've watched people, and even little kids, and which we'll touch on bullying in another episode. They're evil, and if you have something they don't have, you can go online and just blow up. And if your parents haven't taught you to discipline, to not care what other people think of you, it doesn't dictate anything in your life. That can be a very detrimental.
These experiences of bullying and stuff like that, I feel they come with who you surround yourself with. It goes back to that because a lot of the bullying, you're trying to look cool in front of somebody else, or you're trying to do, something to impress somebody else. And, when you get old enough to understand that that's not the way, I think we all kind of bullied somebody somewhere down the line, or was on the opposite end of the spectrum and we're the ones that get bullied. And it's horrible. You see these stories about these 14-year-olds that commit suicide because they were bullied and stuff like that.
It's terrible. And what I've seen, I'm gonna be honest, there was this week's episode was going to be bullying, because after DJ and I got done with last week's episode, I went home and I was maybe on, I think it was TikTok.
You go home and get bullied?
Yeah, no. Not since I was in the 3rd grade. Let me tell you, but that's another story.
My kids bully me every day.
Oh, no, I don't do that. I growl at mine. But I must have seen like 8 little clips or whatever the hell they are, clips about people recording kids getting bullied. And because... Maybe it's because I used to be 5'3", 75 pounds all through up until my last 2 years of high school. So I was a little guy. Okay, and my school I went to was all predominantly 6'2", 220
You're
pounds.
Preaching to the choir, brother.
Okay,
I'm still a little guy.
But even with I don't know, just my mentality, because I didn't like bullying back then, and I didn't care who you could have been. God, and if I saw you bullying, I would jump over the dude. Now, and I know I can't because I want to. Where I'm pushing a brand for DJ and us, I want us to become a brand with lifting people up, changing the way any negative feelings or any reason you say, "Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that." I guarantee, and I've told DJ about the book I wrote. It's not published yet, but I smash.
We're gonna make that a goal, right? Just like me getting up, running around the block. You're gonna print that book, right?
All I got to do, it's in this notebook that's right here. All I got to do is put it on my laptop and send it to a couple publishers.
Sweet.
But I loathe bullying. For me is one of my pet peeves. I hate it, and I know they say that you shouldn't fight, and when I see it, I get pissed off, and I was getting pissed off this weekend because I was seeing this, and they're recording it, and it's got so many views, and then people had the nerve. Oh, they asked for it. Oh, that girl asked for it. No, they didn't. They're just trying to live their life, and these kids. When we had bullies back then, you had a bully. When you guys fought, 9 times out of 10, you became friends after that.
Yeah, very true. A lot of my
I had a bully.
A lot of my best friends, one of my main best friends.
Okay.
We always were. So there was my clique, and then this new clique moved into the neighborhood. So there was instantly that like clique versus clique kind of deal. Oh, look at those guys over there! They moving in on our turf. Like the outsiders. Yeah. And we ended up going to the same high school, and one of the kids from the other clique, and I was walking around. This is back when I thought I was like super cool, you know what I mean? I had my hat to the side like this, big weed leaf over here. It was a white hat, I thought I was the coolest kid in the school, you know what I mean? And every time I'd walk by him, he'd snarl at me like, freaking, this is that kid from that, that clique that, we moved in on their turf. He's nothing but a little, and we got to kicking it a little bit, and next thing you know, we're best friends. All my other friends kind of phased out. The ones that were, on the turf with me, phased out. I got this new clique now. You know what I mean? Like, it's me. It's kind of like the two cliques came together. Like, these people hung with these people hung with these people, and that's just how it happened, man. Yeah. Like going back to what you were saying.
They weren't as ruthless and mean. I mean, they were mean, but they're not. I've seen this, and it pisses me off. But I was like, all right, you know what? There's got to be a way that I can somehow throw that into an episode. And like, look, I was little all my life until, like I said, until 11th grade, senior, or so, whatever it is, 11th grade. And I just refused. No, I don't care how big you are. I don't care. I'm not giving lunch money. I use some colorful terms sometimes only because I knew
it's life. We all use
my
colorful
parents wouldn't get mad at me for defending myself.
Yeah.
And they had taught me at a young age, this is what you got to do.
Yeah.
We're not going to force you into anything. What you got to figure out what makes you happy. Sit down. What makes you happy?
And going back to choosing your destiny.
Choosing my destiny. It was like, and they told me, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. They're not going to do it. No one's going to do it for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
The
only person you have to reach that destiny is yourself. You can't, the outside interference does not get you to where you need to be. Destiny is the choice of oneself. It's the essence of empowerment. Like, you can only empower yourself, there's no do-overs, man.
No.
Go out and figure out what your destiny is. Claim that destiny and make it your destiny, like it was meant to be. Choose wisely. There's a lot of things that go into that. Where do you work? What you're thinking? Who do you love? What do you buy? Where do you live? What do you eat? All this stuff is gonna snowball into this person, this self-discipline, and all these things necessary to get to the fulfillment of your destiny. And you don't necessarily, people stop looking at it as money as the success level that everybody needs to reach, because you can't take it with you.
No.
You know what I'm saying? How many times did you hear that saying?
I use it. I think I used it tonight.
Put it this way.
Earlier.
The king and the pawn when you're done playing the game, they all go in the same box. We know who's powerful on the
board.
On
yeah,
the board.
But once
the game's over,
I
man,
like that.
we all go right back in the same box.
Yeah.
You know.
And the same.
So
yeah.
if you can wrap your mind around that and kind of change your outlook on what success is. Again, my success is different from everybody. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Number one thing is what's the meaning of success for you?
Yeah, that's different with everybody.
I think everybody should really consider happiness and just living quality of life. You know what I mean? The quality of life is above all. That's why our purpose
Have you watched Patch recently?
No.
Robin
Patch
Williams
Adams?
in the movie Patch Adams. Yeah, that was his
I don't
thing.
think I've
Doctors
ever watched it once.
and the quality of life, not just try to cure them. You want to improve their life, even if you can't cure them. That's I think.
I learned that being a dog owner. So my first dog on my own. I had dogs when I was little, but when I got together with your sister, we got a dog. We were really set on Boston Terriers. I have 2 now. They're little dogs. They're easy to maintain, short hair. Everything. You're not picking up mammoth shits.
It's a big rat.
So we agreed Boston Terrier's the way to go, right?
Okay.
Okay, so I get this dog, bring him home. He's around for about a year, and he comes down with this brain inflammation disease. I forget what they call it. And I'm like, damn, man, it's only a year, and this dog started becoming my best friend. You know what I mean? After many vet visits and things like that, they said, from here on out, we don't really know what to do. We've tried everything. We tried even going outside of medication and trying, like herbs and trying all these, like I went to a vitamin store and got certain vitamins that, maybe would have stopped the swelling and things like that. And the thing that they told me was the only thing we could do now is just give him the quality of life for the time he has here. So that kind of translated, as I was maturing as a human being, that kind of translated into growing up and having more responsibilities and having kids and wanting them to live the best quality of life. You know what I mean? So
it's funny how the little things that happen in our life, sometimes we don't realize until we decide to take that leap. Finally, when it hits us, I'm everything is good, but I'm not really happy. And then you remember these little instances, situations that happen, and it clicks. Oh.
I really think that people sometimes drown themselves in being the victim.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So when people say, like, they have everything they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have the kids, they have the house, they got the cars, I got it all. I got everything, and I worked damn hard to get it. I wasn't rewarded. Me and Andrea, we worked damn hard to get where we were at. And I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here and play victim and say, hey, I'm not happy. I might not be happy, like, with where I am in life, but that's why you choose to take that leap, because you want to get out of that rut. You don't want to rot, like Bruce Lee was saying. You know what I mean?
Get out of that circle.
So you really got to move on from that victim mentality. Like, I have to do this, or I have to do that, or I have to abide by this, because if I don't, they're gonna look at me like this, and that's why I'm always the victim. To a victor mentality, choose to do what you got to do to get through. You know what I mean? Stop playing that victim. Stop making those excuses.
Did you just change your voice for a second there? Choose to do what you got to do.
Choose your destiny. It's like a Mortal Kombat thing. But
that's awesome.
Just be in alignment with your calling. Be committed to your mission. Again, once you get the hardest step out of the way, finding out what your passion is, finding out what makes you tick, finding out what makes you happy. Be in alignment, surround yourself, immerse yourself, and be committed to that mission, man, because the sky's the limit, man.
It is. What is, I've heard one quote, inspirational quote, where it says, shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll still be in the stars.
Yeah.
I believe that's pretty much how it goes.
So my take on that is, shoot for that gold, shoot for that brass ring, man. if you come up short, you attempted, you knew what steps it took you to get closer to that brass ring.
You have no
You might have
regrets.
failed. No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
And like they say, no regrets.
No regrets.
And then something that I know I like is, in the end, we only regret the chances we didn't take.
Yeah.
You know, every day you were always.
I regret that every day. Why did I never do this? How come I didn't take this?
Why did it take
I want to
so
know
long?
why it took me so long to get into this DJ thing. You know what I mean? I had other things on the brain, man. I was being I was being taught this is the way of life. You need to go out and make money, pay your bills.
That's
and
it.
And then you're gonna roll over and that's it. You know, you're gonna go to sleep and that's it.
Can't be happy till you're 65 when you retire. That's it.
No, man. No. We're done with that. That's why we're doing this podcast. We want you to get up out of your seat. We want to freaking coach you guys. We want you guys to coach us. We want to be better than yesterday, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna say that over and over and over. I'm getting amped up. Can you tell I'm getting amped up?
No.
I'm fucking getting amped, bro. When we're done with this podcast, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna put some of that work in to round out my DJing better. You know what I mean?
Okay.
There's that one saying. You know what I mean? People behind closed. What you do for years behind closed doors, people will notice once you get out there. You know what I mean? So it took me so many years to round out my skill set. You know, people think you just show up on the scene and you just start doing things to an excellent level. You know, that goes for painting too, man. It took me a long time to get to the point where I'm at. I don't use tape. I could even probably paint without a drop cloth. You know what I mean? People are like, holy crap, why are you charging me so much? You were only here for 3 hours. You know why I'm charging you so much? It took me 20 years to get to that point to do that for you in 3 hours.
Yeah.
You know, where you try to tackle that job, you're going to end up doing that your whole weekend, your whole month of weekends, you know, and I'll knock it out in 3 hours. You know what I mean? Why? Because I practiced. Practice. So, you know.
You put the work in. With anything, there is no magic pill. You know, just speaking of that, just an offshoot, when, my buddy, well, not personal friend, but I grew up with him, Stallone. You know, he got in trouble because he had the ephedrine on him. And it's like, who cares? It can't take the pill, and it's not going to make his body look the way it does. He still goes in. I watched him the other day. Oh, my God, he's doing the pull-ups like this. And it was insane for 25 minutes. I'm just watching going, this guy's nuts.
Well, that all starts with, self-discipline.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Like I was saying earlier, I'm going to get out and run around the block, right? It's going to set up for the next time I want to run around the block to make it easier, and to make it easier, and to make it easier. You know, when I first DJ'd my first event, I seen a little bit of daylight there. I'm like, oh, I made it. You know what I mean? I didn't make it. I made it to the stage, but I didn't complete my mission, you know. And I would go as far as saying, hey, man, I opened up for a Grammy Award winner, Alessia Cara. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with her, but Scars to Your Beautiful and Stay, I think, are her hits. If you don't know, go listen. You'll know as soon as you hear it. But that was like...
Oh, I know Stay. I don't know the other one. But
I was
Stay.
like... I was in...
That was
heaven,
a huge
man.
benchmark
Like,
for you right there, you know?
Like, I couldn't tell you I had goosebumps on top of goosebumps on top of goosebumps. And when I tell you, in my brain, I was, like, at a state of euphoria. Like, I was almost living an out-of-body experience. And let me tell you this. I did that event not getting paid.
Really?
I didn't need the money.
Goodness out of your heart.
I did not need the money. I was working. I was painting. Boss called me up. He's like, hey, you want to DJ a gig Thursday? I was like, sure. You know, kind of on the fence. Like, you know, it's a hard work week, but I don't like to turn down anything. And I was like, so what am I DJing? He was like, oh, 98 PXY Summer Jam. I was like, hell yeah. The next words that came out of my mouth was they weren't how much am I going to get paid. They were like, where do I sign up? Where do I set up? What time do I got to be there? This is freaking awesome. You know what? Funny story too. I was painting a deck, you know, staining a deck.
Yeah.
It's midsummer, summer jam, you know. And this had to be Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday afternoon before the Thursday.
Oh, well, before the summer jam. Okay.
Yeah, he called me on Monday.
Okay.
I says, I'm in. You know what I mean? I proceed. I go back to work. I'm painting a deck.
He's happy.
I'm happy. Don't you know a bee comes up between the two planks, stings me right in the freaking eyebrow? Okay. So I gotta go stand in front of thousands of people. Finally reaching this benchmark I wanted to reach.
Looking like you got beat up.
Looking like freaking Stallone hit me in the face with whatever he was carrying, that little boost of whatever he took there. And you know what? I said, man, I'm going. I don't care. I don't care if my eye is shut.
You put the work in.
I wore sunglasses the whole time. Okay. Not to mention, at the end of the gig, first of all, I step off the stage, and the guy that we've heard on 98PXY our whole lives, okay, he comes up to me. He was like, "Oh, are you DJ Tiano?" I talked to him earlier in the week.
Spazzano?
Yeah, one of those. Who was it? It wasn't Spazzano. It's the other one.
I know they've changed so much, it's hard to even remember.
It might
but
come
anyways, yeah.
Anyway, I step off stage. He was like, "Oh, you're DJ Tiano. I talked to you earlier in the week." He was like, "You knocked this out of the park." He was like, "There's like this flow here, this energy that hasn't been here in the last couple of years." And I was just like, "Holy crap! Like that's freaking awesome." So I step off stage. I could go left and cut right through the baseball field and get to my car. Mind you, I have my DJ equipment. I can go right to the car. It'd take me probably about 10 minutes to walk there, 15 minutes at most. Direct route. VIP was to the right. So I'm thinking, hey, maybe, I have the thing. I can get through here, So I'm like, let me take the hard route, because you never know what I could come. I'm lugging my gear and everything else. And it probably was a 20, 25 minute walk, half hour maybe even. Because I had to come out, walk around all the way around the stadium, go through the gates where I could have just took that. Right?
Yeah.
I says, I didn't get anywhere in my life taking the easy route.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing ever falls in your lap taking the easy route. So I said, screw it. I'm going to go the hard way, man. I'm going to take the long walk. Don't you know, Alessia Cara pulls up, golf cart, they're golf carting her over to the VIP section. I'm like, holy crap, there she is, man. Like, I just simply said, hey, Alessia, great job out there. I was the DJ off to the side. And not that she's going to care. She was like, hey, you want to take a picture with me? It's good for PR. I was like, abso-freaking-lutely. So once we get the Facebook page up and going,
and yes, and I'm working on it.
I'm gonna post those pictures.
Okay.
I took a few pictures, and it just shows that anybody, including myself, little Joe Schmo from corner of Western New York, chose my destiny. I took the leap, and where did I end up? Yeah. I freaking opened up for a Grammy Award winner. It's still to this day, the highest point of my career.
Oh, you could be very happy about that.
But I am still searching for that again. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, and it changed my attitude. I think attitude is everything. If you approach things with a great attitude,
proper mindset,
you could just get through to anything, man.
But people are, even if, here's the thing, and this is one of this. I know DJ and I have been going back and forth of. Obviously, we want to lift people up. I want to change the way you think. I want to destroy every excuse you have of why you can't take that leap.
He's huge on that.
Is
that your destiny?
That's my thing. I want to, because like I told you, they used to add one of the last place I worked during the day, where I started as security and I went into the kitchen, helped out. And I was still security, but they used to try to bust my chops to boom, 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 boom. And I choose not to let anything faze me.
You put the wall up and you didn't let anything.
And I'm tired. One other thing, I think I might have said this to DJ once, where I talk to people like, hey, man, what's up? And they'll say, I'm living the dream. I'm living a dream, man. And I go, okay.
That's just a false...
Whose dream? And you get that.
When people say that, they just kind of say it out of sarcasm, I feel like. They're living the dream.
Well, that's the thing. And
they want you to feel like, they're good.
No.
They're living the dream.
Is it your dream? Is this what you wanted to do?
A lot of people consider it the American dream. The white picket fence in front of the house, blah, blah, blah. And again, you can achieve that, but the hardest thing is to get there and maintain that, to stay up there.
Take
you
that
know what
lead.
I mean? That attitude. There are literally millions of humans living narrow, dark, frustrating lives simply because they have that defensive, doubtful attitude about themselves and in life in general. You know what I mean? They oppose change, yet change is the only thing in life that we could count on to keep us going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so if you look back on the last 5 years of your life and you accomplished nothing, you woke up 9 to 5, went home on the weekends, maybe went out here or there, you know, you had a couple cool moments hanging with friends or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you look at that past 5 years and you don't change anything currently, then you can pretty much look at the next 5 years of your life. If you're not willing to
that's
take
why I
that
got
leap.
into this.
Yeah,
is it.
exactly.
You know, because I looked at the last few years and I sat there and I'm going, oh my God, I've accomplished
And you know what? There's probably tons of people out there. They might not even make it this far into the podcast. They're throwing doubt and shade. What are these jamokes doing in front of the camera, talking? Yo, I'm having a good time with my brother-in-law, man. We're opening up conversations that I can't just approach anybody with. You know what I mean? I've been around people for years, and I just don't open up to them because they don't have the level of conversation that I'm looking for. You know what I mean? You know, it's cool to talk about the weather, whatever, you know, but I want to talk about the stars and we're these little freaking vessels of dust flying through the space at freaking, you know what I'm saying? Like, acknowledge this stuff. Like,
I know.
Life, you only have one shot at life, man, to our knowledge. And you got to make it count, bro. Like, you know?
Well, not me. I'm going to only age till I'm 45, and I'm going to figure out how to become immortal. If it comes down to it, I'm going to be like this. Hey, Drac, come on. You know, because there is so much to see in this. I understand, you know, we're trying to take up this, but I was just watching on my TV that I bought. I mean, I was ecstatic last year. Ran into a little bit of money. I bought my first 65-inch flat screen TV. I've never had one. Never owned one in my life.
I remember that feeling.
Great picture. It's a LCD or whatever
LED,
it is. LD. What is it? No, LC.
LCD. I don't know.
Whatever the name of the TV is. But I'm watching. I think it was a drone. They showed me a view of Scotland.
Yeah.
It just flew all around Scotland. I'm just looking at it going, it's gorgeous.
They're selling you the TV with the gorgeous
No. This was after I bought the TV. I just saw it after we did the podcast. It was this weekend. I was watching it. I'm just sitting there going, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I've got to get over there.
Yeah.
You know, there's too much I haven't seen yet
in this world. And you know what's crazy to me? There are so many people that don't make it off of their, I'm going to say block, but
no, that's true. They don't make it out of their block.
They don't make it off of their block.
Yeah.
You know, they're those ones with the dark, depressed lives because they've never experienced anything but 9-to-5 job and responsibility.
Too afraid to venture off what they might be
pattern,
cool.
Man. Like,
who cares?
I was a little worried about starting this podcast. Like, what the hell am I going to talk about for an hour a week? With like, how many things can we cover? And we got a lot of ideas. We're brainstorming our asses off to entertain you guys. We want to take this and we're going to make it a little better. We're going to add some humor, a little pop culture. You know, we're going to never ever stray away from the foundation of the podcast, but we are going to take it to a next level. If you guys might have some ideas on segments and things like that, I'll give you a little insight on a segment that we're gearing up to do. It's going to be called Choose Your Destiny.
Yeah.
We're going to simultaneously, you know, one week he's going to do it, and then the next week I'll do it. We're going to pick 3 things. It doesn't necessarily have to be any category, but we're going to say, hey, choose one. Choose your destiny. These are the 3 things. We might elaborate what comes along with these 3 things, and then you're going to explain why would you choose that one. And, you know, maybe you guys could join in and comment and you know, tell us why you picked what you picked. And once we start going live, folks, we're looking for a lot of people to engage. We're expanding I'm working on getting us on Spotify today. I'm here recording this, so it's going to be an audio version of our podcast. I'll give you information about that as soon as we get that kicked off.
You can go right to chooseyourdestiny2.0@gmail.com. Yes, the green screen is out of everything, knock on wood, is coming this Friday. I got a nice big thing. I got some ideas about transposing, whatever the word is, where we put the background.
Oh man, yeah. Like, do you remember Wayne's World?
Yeah.
Remember they would do that little segment?
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Where are we today?" And they're sitting there jogging. And they're like, "Yeah, we're in Delaware." Like, what's in Delaware, dude?
We're in the Arctic
That's
today.
Gonna be us, man. Yeah.
We'll have some...
So I want to touch down a couple more notes I have for today. We'll see if you got anything else going, and then we'll move on to our quote.
Okay.
So affirmations, we kind of touched the surface of it.
Mm-hmm.
We gave you the definition of an affirmation. A lot of it is basically, I'm going to put it to you like this. Thoughts become words.
Mm-hmm.
Words become actions. Actions shape habits. Habits pretty much define your character. And only your authentic character creates your destiny.
Mm-hmm.
So you got words equal actions. Actions shape your habits. Okay?
Yep.
Habits define character.
Yep.
Your character ultimately is who you are. Stay true to
yourself. People will remember you as.
Stay true to yourself. That's why we're out here. We want to leave an imprint, man. Like, we want, I want my kids to grow up and be like, "Oh, my dad, he started this podcast. It was pretty cool. You should go back and listen to it."
Yeah.
This is forever going to be on the internet as long as we allow it to be. So.
And well, along with that, and I've touched on with the DJ before we first started. One of the things that I want to also push with this is once we start going live, I want to do live where we start. I want to do some charities, to bring awareness to like childhood diseases, homeless vets that we shouldn't have at all in this country.
So this was something that I took the DJ platform and I used. There was a few times. Remember there was that ice bucket challenge?
Yes.
What was it for? I can't remember. MS?
I don't even remember what it was for. I just remember they were doing something. Yeah,
ALS.
some disease.
ALS.
Yeah, something like that. They were dumping ice on themselves.
So I worked a bar every Friday night doing karaoke and playing dance music for everybody, all the drunks to enjoy and stuff like that. So I was like, hey, man, I could use this platform right now. I'm not going to do the ice bucket challenge. So what? You dump some ice on you. We've all done some stupid shit like that before. I was like, I'm going to use this platform, this microphone here, to everybody's raising all this money for ALS. I'm going to do it, maybe a 50-50 raffle or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what I did, but I remember I raised like almost $700 for it.
That's cool.
There was a local kid who got hit and killed by a car. The mother had cancer, and I took it upon myself as a community leader and took the platform. Yeah. And again, I raised like buku money for these people.
Nice.
And I never looked into anything for return. It's charity. Obviously, that's what charities do.
Yeah.
So we're going to take this platform.
Yeah. Yeah, but do you know that the last I looked, that's a $15 billion a year business.
What's that? The fund?
Charities.
Like, yeah,
people. I don't understand. All right, we want to raise money for this awareness, MS, whatever, autism, but people make billions of dollars on this thing. Yeah, I know you were running a little.
All right, so this is something new to me. We got 2 minutes. I'm gonna spit out. This is just for this version. We'll keep going on the YouTube here.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna leave the quote with these people. We got a minute and a half here. Next week's quote: hardship often prepares an ordinary person for extraordinary destiny. Okay? So we'll have the Wild Man elaborate on that next week. For those who are listening in on Spotify, thank you very much for the support.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Keep up. Tell all your friends.
Tell all your friends. I'm sure we'll figure this out that we can go past an hour here. But yes, thank you very much for you guys listening in at Spotify. If you want to continue to hear our podcast, switch over to the YouTube version, and you'll even see our faces and whatnot. So thank you very much from our Spotify listeners. We will check you out next week.
Yeah.
Forge Podcast.
Have a
Wild
good
Man,
weekend.
DJ
Yeah,
Tiano.
man.
We're going to continue this thing on the YouTube, okay? See ya.
All right, nice. Yeah, we want to hit as many
Platforms
media
as
platforms
possible.
or whatnot as possible that we can do.
That's new. I had no idea. It just started blinking red, and I just wanted to get that out there. Anybody with any podcast, experiences or anything that would like to share or tell us how we can, get better at this, just hit us in the email. That'd be great. What were we talking about? Charities.
Charities, yes. Another big pusher to do this was just to bring light. I was talking to DJ earlier that last year I started hearing like little bits on the radio or whatnot when I was listening to the radio that people are afraid, like if their kids have like a disease and people are afraid to talk about it, or I have this ailment, I have this. And, like I said, because my mindset where I don't care what somebody else says,
Yeah.
that doesn't compute in my head, especially when it's your kid. I mean, I know they say you can't do this. When it comes to my kid, if my kids are being hurt in one way or another, I just see red. And I know you're not supposed to do that.
No.
But I'm sorry.
No, man, it's natural. That's natural.
But so I don't understand. You're afraid to talk about childhood diseases, or we don't want to do this, or we don't want to do that.
Well, we live in a culture that is very quick to throw shade at others.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are afraid to express what they're going through, whether it be backlash or whether people make fun of them, whatever it may be. That shit needs to stop, man. Like, we're all human. We're all here. We all want to help each other out. I believe that, I think just what we're doing, whether people are listening or not, you've lifted me and I feel like I lifted you up.
Yeah.
We're opening doors that we never even thought that would even be possible. We're talking about getting a line of clothing out there. We're talking about just anything that could just is new. We're not trying to go stale. Like I was saying about that, looking at your past 5 years and looking into the future. I gotta look forward to this next 5 years. That's gonna just continue from the last 5 years.
You got to change that mindset.
Change that mindset. Change that attitude. Take that leap, man. Just take that freaking leap.
Just stop caring what anybody else thinks. There's a thing. What is it? I've seen a lot of women. They're saying it on the TikTok that we might want to look into seeing about getting into too. But if they're not feeding you, financing you, or freaking you, it doesn't matter what they say. And your significant other is always good for if you need somebody to play devil's advocate, because 9 times out of 10, you guys are not exactly the same, because the same is just boring and you end up kind of sometimes growing apart. But when you're different, you have different aspects of that spectrum. You can say this and then they can give you their opinion. You'd be like, oh, sometimes you don't even look at it that way, which is a thing I've tried to, I wouldn't say I have perfected yet because I'm not perfect, but a lot of people, DJ, when they're looking at something, they see this.
Tunnel vision.
Yeah. When I look at stuff, and even my parents have said, you got to stop thinking of everything. When I look at stuff, I look like this. I use my peripherals. That's how far I can see. And when that's how I look at life. I see all the possibilities every day when I wake up.
So they in football, there's a saying, keep your head on a swivel. And the players
It's
that
on
are
the military too. They used to say that in the army.
well, yeah, because you got to watch. You got to watch your six. You got to watch your back. But the players that are able to do that, use their peripherals and you know what I'm saying, keep their head on that swivel.
They see what's going on.
They usually are the better players.
Yeah.
They're using that extra sixth sense, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
I guess it wouldn't be a sixth sense because it's still your vision, but exactly to
yeah,
your
but
point.
you could be, well, yeah, like you said, you're reading people. All right, this one's going this. I just seen that muscle twitch. The leg muscle. He's going to explode.
I'm the type of person that walks into a room and I look at everything. Like, you gotta
everybody
understand your surrounding.
Yeah.
Whether someone's, I don't just do it because I think, someone's out there getting ready to commit a terrorist attack or something. I do it to understand the room. Is somebody being bullied?
Read the room.
Does somebody need help?
Yeah.
Has an older person fell and they need help getting, standing up or things like that?
What song he can use? Okay, we got these people
Yeah,
here.
yeah, exactly.
What song I can use to bring everybody right here? I want to see smiles. I want to see dancing, and I want to see over there, buying drinks, having a good time, enjoying a better quality of life.
Exactly.
Oh, look at that motivational uppercut right there, baby. Yeah.
Be in alignment with your call and be committed to your mission again.
Nice.
As humans, creative ideas come easily and frequently, but unless you turn it into action, it means nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to be selfish sometimes. Self-awareness, self-reflection, define happiness to yourself. Mm-hmm. These are all things. If you're not happy with yourself, those around you are not going to be happy. The world has a lot to offer you, and unless you are willing to receive that, then it's no good. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Resources. Use your resources. Again, I cannot stress this to you guys as much as possible. Use your resources. I took this painting business of my father's, who was up and running for decades, right? I took that business, and it's here now. I didn't do anything different as far as quality of work. Mm-hmm. I didn't put any extra, money into it or anything. I used my resources. I advertise on Facebook. I tell people through this, couples that are getting married, I sprinkle in the idea, hey, you're going to get married, buy a house, you're probably going to need a painter. You know what I mean? It's worked. It's worked. Use your resources, man.
You're going to have to redo that kitchen. I know a guy.
Use your freaking resources. I cannot stress. Wake up and win battles.
That's right.
That's another thing I say. Wake up and win battles, man. Like, create your destiny. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Always choose to have a better life.
Personal development, man.
Always, all right, what am I going to do? Am I going to be sad? Am I going to pout? No, I'm going to make out there. I'm going to, even if you wake up, you'd be like, this is fun, and just boom, just kick the door. This is what I'm going to do. Don't wait for a door to open. Make your own door. Yeah. Kick the wall down. Oh, yeah, I saw that in something, and they were like, stop waiting for another door to open. Or did we say that?
No, I've heard it before.
Okay.
Stop waiting for that door to open
it yourself.
And go knock it down.
Yeah, just knock
Run
it down.
through that bastard like Juggernaut.
That's right. Oh, my God. When you say geeks. That, in the movie, what you say that, and all I see is, who is that guy?
It was in Deadpool 2, Juggernaut.
Yeah, no, not him. When in X-Men 3.
Oh, when he ran through the walls.
The dude was like, you know who I am?
Yeah, that's
Juggernaut.
The Juggernaut. I'm
bitch.
Juggernaut, bitch.
You said that. I just heard his voice in X-Men. But yeah, the Juggernaut in Deadpool was a lot better.
Yeah.
It was a good thing.
All right, guys, we're approaching that time, man. We put in a lot of energy into this episode. It started off a little slow, I feel like, but we picked up momentum. I feel like we, once we start rolling, don't turn it off, man, because there's some stuff. We got some shit to say, man. And
yes, we do.
And whether you take it for granted or you just take it as these two schmucks talking into the camera,
we'll make you laugh.
Eventually,
if you don't,
we don't want to keep it somber and
I'm not
stagnant, man.
Even if you don't look, we're not doctors. We don't have degrees. Everything we put on here as a disclaimer, we have experience, and these are our opinions.
And we want you guys to jump in and add your experiences.
Yeah.
What?
How many houses have you painted, DJ? How many houses did you say you painted? Let's ballpark it. Let's say 500.
I don't know, bro. Like, I've been in it for 20 years, man. It's hard to assess.
Okay, so we're gonna say 1,000 in his lifetime. Probably about 1,500 houses.
Well, look at it this way. I mean, give or take, I can do 52 jobs a year, more or less, depending on the size of the jobs. Okay. You gotta kind of give a week per job.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
Or there's times when I do 2-3 jobs because not everybody's getting their whole house painted. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I mean, 50.
So that's 600.
50 times 20. There you go. That's how many houses I painted.
Okay. So let's say 500. We'll use around 500 houses or so, and then he's got everybody that is in the either the bar or the wedding or Summer Jam, no sons. So he's coming out and he's reaching all those people. He's making them smile. This one smile. Oh, my kitchen, my bedroom looks great. Minga, you guys did a great job on that deck. Oh my God, we had such a good night last night, DJ. We danced.
Yeah.
My legs were so sore. I felt like I did leg day. I didn't walk for 2
Just
days.
come check me
that.
out on Facebook. Like my page. You'll see all this positive reaction. I'm being humble when I'm saying this. Like, I'm not trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm that like guy, because I'm sure I got haters. I'm sure that they're out there. I'm sure like, oh, this freaking guy again. How many times is he gonna show us a picture of a room painted? How many times is he gonna take a picture of the crowd that he's got dancing in front of him?
That's right. That's right.
From each one of these things I do, there's either a person that likes my Facebook or comments on my Facebook. Like you said, oh, we had a blast last night.
Yeah.
I'm slowly, I'm changing people. It might not be for...
Oh, that's right, Minga. You just let me. I was sitting here talking. I lost track. I was thinking about what the hell I was talking about when I started talking. Anyways, with these, if we're not trying to tell you how to live your life.
No.
I want you to choose to want more, to want better. Forget what anybody else says. As long as
trying to improve.
You're not hurting yourself, you're not hurting anybody else.
Nope.
I want you to smile. I want you to laugh. When we get this live thing going, I want to see people up here hitting. And bear with us, because I know I've watched them scroll when other people do lives, and sometimes it scrolls damn fast.
Let's make it a goal to get at least one person engaged and commenting and talking.
So,
I mean,
well, yeah,
you got to start.
Somebody's gonna. I mean, even I jump on my Instagram and I do a live thing, and I'll get several people coming up. Just don't try to sell me a porn site, okay? There's people on Insta.
Or they get you in the money pyramid.
What is it? Bitcoin.
Yeah.
If you send me this money in 20 minutes, I'll give you this money back. I don't care. I don't want to know.
Let's see where we're at. Here. About 100, 150, 190. We're over 200 views.
Are we?
4 episodes.
All right.
Not bad. But again, we just started from scratch. Mm-hmm. We're working with bare minimal here. We're getting better and better every week.
Still learning how to send everything to get it to all right, let's just send it to everybody.
Yeah. Like you said, we're going to do some charity work.
Yes.
We're going to take the podcast with us whenever we do these things. Mm-hmm. It might not even be an episode about a certain subject. It might just be the outing of the day for the...
whatever the charity is. We'll talk about that, yeah.
We'll sit down some people, maybe the people that we're helping out.
Oh, that would be
nice. What I mean?
I think and
we got interviews coming.
Yeah.
We're just working. We're ironing out.
We want to make you laugh before we get serious.
We got to figure out how to get these interviews, because some of these people, like the first person I want to interview, he's from Virginia. He's going to be on this thing. I think we're going to plug him in quite a bit. He's just got so much to offer.
Which one's from Virginia?
Will.
Is he?
He's originally from...
Oh, he's lucky. When we were working, I didn't know that.
He's not from Virginia. He moved down there.
Okay.
He's from here.
Okay. All right. I was going to say, I didn't know that about him.
He's got a lot to offer. I'm in talks with him. There's a couple other people I got on the wire. We're going to get them out there. We're going to get some other content coming in, rolling through here.
In talks. We're in talks.
Yeah, I mean, you got to start somewhere, right? Yeah. You got to use your resources, people. Use your freaking resources. I can't express to you anymore.
No,
go out, buy yourself a hat that looks like this.
People love this hat. Oh, I love the hat. The adults love the hat. The kids think it's my real hair.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that. I think it's fun.
Kids.
I think it's fun, and I don't care.
Email address?
Yes. ChooseYourDestiny 2.0 at gmail.com. And that is a 0, not an O. It's a 0, just in case somebody,
Have we gotten any emails? Keep it 100. No. It's okay.
No. I haven't checked this week, though. Last week we didn't.
Yeah. You know what I feel like, though? Once we hit the social media platforms, once we got a Facebook page coming.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Once I'm gonna spread that like wildfire. We can get reactions and comments on there, and we can give shout outs. We could do all that stuff, man. Sky is the limit.
Yep.
You come with us, man. Watch this grow.
As soon as I finish the logo, maybe a month after we keep going with the thing, we're gonna have the clothing line come out, because I'm real passionate about my our clothing line.
They're going to be clothes for everybody. It's not going to just be like, hey, support our podcast.
No.
These are going to be inspirational quotes on shirts and things that,
Well,
designs.
things that we say, because I don't want to take from anybody else that
we're not.
We're plagiarizing. It's going to be stuff that moves us, that causes you to remain happy, to keep your motivation while you're on this journey to that goal to where you're happy.
And if you guys got some ideas of future podcasts, topics, things you want us to disclose it all, just put it out there, man.
Yes.
Like,
email us.
Yeah, email us.
What's that email?
Do you got like the tumbleweed rolling through there? All right, let's do the quote.
The quote.
Well, this is Christopher Marcus, spelled Markus. Cool, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Hardship often prepares an ordinary person for an extraordinary destiny. Once again, hardship often prepares an ordinary person for an extraordinary destiny. That is our quote for the week. For the week.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it,
Choose Your Destiny 2.0 at gmail.com. This is the Wild Man.
And this is DJ Tiano. Thanks for your support.
See you guys next week.